Hi, I'm Deborah and welcome to the Livingston Farm. Today I'm going to interview my dad who's going to tell you a wee bit about the daily workings on the farm. Okay, so let's get going. Every morning after milking the cows, Dad feeds the calves. What are you putting in the milk then? What are you putting in the milk?
That's dried milk.
Dried milk. You've got a wee audience here. So how often do the calves get fed?
Get fed twice a day.
Yeah. And what is it that you feed them then?
Usually dried milk.
Yeah.
Dried milk, which you add water to and feed each calf. Each calf gets fed individually. They're all separated, so that they don't do each other harm. You know, They suck each other's nables if you have them separated.
Okay.
And damage their nables.
Right.
They'll stay there for about 6 weeks, and then they go into bigger pens like these. Bigger pens.
Okay.
Then they go on to hay and straw, and then they get silage after that.
Very good.
This is where the silage is stored. 3 silos, and then we have a clamp up here of silage as well. That's really for winter feeding. They eat all that silage by the time next end of March next year. They'll have all that'll be gone. It'll be eaten or almost all eaten. Then they go to grass until next winter again.
And how many cuts of silage do you normally do a year, Dad?
3 cuts.
Yeah, no worries.
And the cows are out of grass all summer, and then they're in the winter time. They're housed in the winter because the winters are too cold and wet.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the cows up here. The cows are out of grass at the minute, but not for much longer because the nights are getting colder and darker, and it's going to be too cold soon to keep them out. So they're out of grass here now during the day, and at the minute I keep them in at night, and then they'll be in during the day very shortly as well. So that'll be them housed until end of next March.
Okay.
End of March next year.
Very good.
They're all happy enough there.
Yep. Good stuff.
Eating away.
So this is my little brother Alistair. And what are you doing today, Alistair?
Bedding the cubicles.
Yep. And how do you do that?
Basically just sprinkle sawdust on the brushed cubicles.
So this is to make your beds all nice and cozy then, is it?
It's to stop infection spreading really.
Oh, right. Okay. The rest of the day is filled with all sorts of jobs that need doing, such as fixing fences, taking care of sick animals, spreading slurry or fertiliser, and of course, a vital part of the day is preparing the food for the cows to eat and serving it up. And today's special is silage. A diet feeder is used to prepare the food. The silage is taken from the silo and mixed with the meal inside the diet feeder to create a dish filled with nutrients that the cows love. Time for tea. I know, you can see the mountains if it was a clearer day. But this is just typical Northern Irish weather. Okay, so tell us a wee bit about the traditions of the farm then.
Well, this is where we farm here in the county of Armagh, and we've farmed here, I suppose, for about 250 years.
250 years, well.
Yeah, and the sort of tradition is that the farms are passed down from father to son. I inherited this farm from my father. I expanded it a bit from what it was. It was this very small holding when my grandfather had it. I have a son now, Alistair, farming here, and all been well, he'll be farming here someday.
And what changes have you made over the years then, Dad?
Well, we built new sheds, and that shed there was built in about 1995. And then there's other sheds added up there in the farmyard. Were added in 2000. And it's just different things have been added on over the years.
Yeah. And the family home used to be on the farm as well, didn't
Family
it?
home used to be there where that clamp is, where that silo clamp is just up there. And that's where the family home was, and it was demolished.
Yeah.
It was very old.
Yeah.
And my grandfather and my father was born there, and we lived there for a short time. My father would have grew flax there for the linen industry years ago, and that has died out. But there's a big linen mill over in Pittsburgh about half a mile away, and my father one of his main farming enterprises was growing flax to make linen, and he would have had a flax dam down at the bottom of the field, and the whole process in gathering the flax up and putting it in a flax dam where it was full of water, and you had to wait until the flax had rotted, and then it was processed then for the mill in Pittsburgh. It's just an old will here, dated 1873. It's the will of Archibald Livingston, late of Mulliglass, in the county of Armagh, on the 4th of September 1878, actually that one is, to Grace Livingston of Mulliglass, aforesaid widow. So this was his widow. He must have died pretty young, and he left the farm, the lands, the entire farm to his widow Grace. Now,
And this is her here, is
this is her here, I believe. Yeah, this is Grace here.
Yeah.
So she was the widow and got this land, and the land, just to show you the way things have went, the farm was only worth £81.45. So it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Also, this is another will. This is his son Archibald was also called Archibald, and Archibald left the land to my grandfather, who was called Joseph or Joe. So the land was then left to him. So this is an old will from September 1926. So then my grandfather took possession of the land then, and this is my grandfather Archie here, and then this is Joseph, my grandfather. So he was my grandfather, and he was my great grandfather. And also this is Joseph here again when he was younger. So that's him there when he was younger. And this is Archibald, his father, my great grandfather. And this is Joseph's brother, Sam. Now Sam, along with a whole lot of the other family, emigrated to America, and he was in the American Army in the First World War. And this is Joseph on his wedding day, and this is Margaret, who was previously Margaret Knox, and that was them on their wedding day there.
And Joseph, he worked the farm, didn't he?
Joseph was the one who worked the farm, yeah, my grandfather. And then of course I haven't got a will here, but my grandfather then left the farm to his only son, which was my father, James K. Knox. So all I have here is an old Bible of his here. He has signed it.
Yeah.
James K. Knox, Glenview, Mulliglass, Pittsburgh. James Knox Livingston, sorry. James Knox Livingston was his full title. And
this is him here then, isn't it?
this is my father. This is me. This is my sister, Audrey. This is my brother Jim, and my oldest brother Joseph. Now, Joe would have been working the farm before me. He was called after his grandfather, my father's father. And this is my grandmother, Margaret, who was married to Joseph. So she was previously Margaret Knox. I'm not sure who this lady is here. And this is Lena Knox. So they were two sisters there.
Yeah, very good. Lovely. And this one was taken in front of the hay shed.
In front of the old hay shed, which is still there today.
Yeah.
Still there. Yeah.
In the garden.
In the garden, yeah.
Now for the main purpose of the farm. It's time for the cows to be milked. Dad milks 150 cows in the morning and again in the evening.
This is the bulk tank that holds all the milk. And we're going into the milking parlour now. This is the milking parlour where we milk all the cows. There's 16 cows aside get milked. There they are, there's Alistair and my son down there milking away at them. And the cows come in at the bottom there, through the gates at the bottom, and then they exit here at the front. They go out through that door there at the front. That's them in now at night. And then if we go across here, you can see they're lying in the cubicles there. Nice mattresses in the cubicles for them to lie in. So that's where they lie. There's a cubicle there for every cow right on up. And the same with the far side over there. This is a brush there that they use. They can walk into it and get themselves a good scratch and a good brush down. It's automatic. As soon as you hit it, it starts moving. It usually does there at night. It starts moving, and then the cows can rub up alongside it and get their back rubbed, and they love it. They really love it. Okay, now we had a cow calved there earlier. I'll just show you that in the calving pen. There she is, and there's our wee calf. If you can see it or not. She's giving it a good lick there. There she is. Calf laying there at the front of her, an Aberdeen Angus calf. So there you are. Most of the cows are Holstein bred, Holstein, a bit of British Friesian in them as well, to give them a bit more strength and power. There you are. So that's really it. Cows are all nice and happy in for the night. And there's another shed there. They're not laying down here yet. They're busy eating. They'll be lying down there later on. And there's some more up here as well. And they must have got their fill. They must have got filled up with silage.
So I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about a typical day on the Livingston farm. Much has changed over the years, but the family name and the heart and purpose have remained the same. And now I'm going to leave you with a photo of the next generation.